So let's make Morty in Adobe Animate CC. So the first thing we're gonna do is make a circle, and then make the circle the same color as Morty's face. Now let's make Morty's hair. So what we're gonna do is make 4 lines and then shape them to the shape of like a half oval, but not a perfect oval, but more of a messed up kind of oval. And the one line should be on the back of Morty's head, and the other line should be on the top of Morty's head. Now let's change Morty's hair to brown. Now let's make Morty's eyes. So let's just make a white circle. It doesn't have to be anything special about it, but leave the black outline on it and convert it to a symbol. Then duplicate that circle and just position it on the edge of Morty's head, and then just make it a little bit thinner than the first circle, so it looks like you looking at Morty from a side view. Now let's make Morty's eyebrows. So just make 2 straight lines and then curve them slightly up, and then for the mouth do the same thing and curve it slightly down. Now let's make a new layer and make Morty's pupils. So we don't need a black outline for this because his pupils are already going to be black, so you could delete the black outline and just keep the feel part, and just convert it to a symbol and move it to the middle of Morty's eye. Then duplicate it and move it to the middle of his other eye too. Now for Morty's ear, just make 2 straight lines and then curve each side out till you have a perfect curve and you can't tell that it's 2 lines. Then just rotate it a little bit and make each line even. Then just move it to the side of Morty's face. Now for Morty's nose, let's make 2 more straight lines and then cover them out the same way you did the ear, but make this part thin. So it's going to be 2 thin lines. Then just rotate it and position it on Morty's face, right between the eyes and above the mouth. And that's how you make Morty's head. Now to make Morty's body, what we're gonna do is make a rectangle and then make the rectangle yellow. Now that you have a yellow rectangle, pull out the bottom slightly, and then pull out the left side slightly, and then pull the right side towards the left side just a little bit, just enough to give it a curve, and then pull the top out just a little bit to like create a little bit of a neck. Now we're gonna make the upper arm, so let's make another yellow rectangle for Morty, and then to make the lower arm, all you have to do is just make another rectangle, then change it to the same color as Morty's body. Now just chop the bottom part of the arm in half and then convert them both to a symbol, but also make them just a little bit more narrow than the upper part of Morty's arm that is yellow. And after you convert both of them to a symbol, make the upper part of the arm slightly bent, but just a little bit, and then go into the upper arm symbol. Okay, first convert the shoulder to a symbol, then go into the upper arm symbol and create a circle the same color as Morty's skin. And keep the black outline on it. And then make the circle the same width and the same width as Morty's arm, and then match it up, and then put it on a new layer, and then put the new layer on the bottom. Now once you have that layer on the bottom, you could go out of the symbol, and those are the 3 pieces you need for the arm. But let's drag the yellow part of the arm down and then convert those 2 pieces to a symbol. Now you can just drag the arm parts over to the body. Then that's the body for Morty's arm and his upper arm. Then just make sure that the lower part of the arm is on the bottom. Now that we have the arm, the head, and the body, now let's make the rest of Morty. So let's make his hip piece. So first let's start with a round circle, and then let's make the circle a blue color. Let's make the circle blue. And make sure that the width and height of the circle are equal to each other. Then you can just position it right where Morty's hip is at. Then just change the color to blue. And these are the color values I used. You can see that in the right corner. Now let's make Morty's leg. So let's delete the top black line and then make Morty's leg just a little bit bigger. And convert his hip piece to a symbol, then convert his leg to a symbol. Just position the hip piece where it fits best. Now let's make joint for Morty. So let's make the circle, the joint circle the same width as his upper leg. Then just position it right on top of it, as perfect as you can make it, and then convert it to a symbol. Then convert his upper leg to a symbol also. And delete the bottom black line on Morty's leg so it blends with the joint. I will just convert the joint and his upper leg to a symbol. Now for Morty's bottom leg, make it the same width and height as the upper leg, but the same width and height without the joint. And that leg actually looks a little bit too long, so what we could do is double click on the symbol and actually go inside the symbol and make the leg smaller. And let's not forget to move the joint up too. Now let's make the bottom leg the same size. And convert them individually to a symbol. So the bottom part of the leg should not have a joint, and the top part of the leg should have a joint. Now for Morty's ankle, let's make that narrower than his leg, and let's make it a gray color. Let's give it a medium gray, not too dark, not too light. Now let's convert his ankle to a symbol. Now for his foot, let's make another rectangle. Let's make it slightly lighter than the ankle, and position the top part to where it fits on the ankle. And then now we're just gonna warp the shoe to where it looks like Morty's foot rather than a boxed off triangle. So let's pull the back out a little bit, pull the bottom down, then just pull the corner up a little bit until we get something that sort of looks like a shoe. And we can make the ankle a little bigger too. So let's make it a little bigger but still smaller than his actual leg. Now we could convert his ankle and his foot to a symbol together, and then just position it right underneath the leg. Now for Morty's hand, let's start with a circle. Now let's make it the same color as Morty's body. Let's make sure that the circle is the same width as Morty's arm so his hand can match up perfectly. Now you can just move the circle back away from the body after you position it right. And make sure the circle still has its black line. Now after we convert the circle to a symbol, let's make 3 lines, one going down, one back up, and one across from both lines where the circle is at, right after we pull it out so it sort of looks like a finger. Now let's connect all 3 lines and then change it to the same color as Morty's hand. Now for his other fingers, let's make another finger. Let's do the same thing we did for the first finger, and then change it to the same color as Morty's hand again. Let's just delete the top line off of both fingers. Make sure the top line is deleted off of both fingers. Then you could just pull up the line so the hand blends with the circle. Then just duplicate the second finger. Then you can just warp it to whatever shape you need to. Then duplicate it again for his fourth finger. Then and just warp the finger down to the size you need, then convert them each individually to a symbol, because when you convert it to a symbol, you need them to be converted to a symbol, because if they're not, then the fingers are going to be on the bottom and you're going to see a black line from the black circle. So what you want to do is you want to convert them each individually to a symbol, then convert them all to a symbol. Now after you have them all converted to a symbol individually, then convert them all to a symbol, just position it right on top of Morty's arm. Now after you have one of Morty's arms, just duplicate it so you can have two of Morty's arm, and then duplicate the leg too. So now you have 2 arms and 2 legs. Now just spread the body parts out, so when you use the bone tool, it'll be easier to see where the points will go. So now just grab the bone tool and connect the chest to the head, and the chest to the right arm, the left arm, then the upper left arm to the lower left arm, and the upper right arm to the lower right arm. Then connect the lower right arm to the lower hand, and then do the same thing for the other arm too. Then after you have the arms connected, then connect the chest to the hip piece. So click on the circle first, and then it'll show you where the center is at, and then just drag the bone tool down. Now drag the bone tool from the hip piece to the left leg and the hip piece to the right leg, and do the same thing that you did with the arms with the legs. So drag the bone tool down from the upper leg to the lower leg to the foot for both legs. Now the whole body should look sort of like this. If you don't have your character rigged like this, you might want to rewind the video and redo it. Now just press Control and click to move the pieces that's connected with the bone tool to the spot they should be in. So put the lower arm next to the upper arm, and the hand on the lower arm for both arms. Move the head down and just move the arms to where they should be. It's easier to control the arms if they turn to the side. Oh, and you'll get better results for rigging the character if you use the guides. So use guides by pressing Control, Alt, Shift, and R to pull down the rulers, and then just pull down some guides. Then you could evenly distribute the joints on the bone. Now just pull the leg parts up. Now that you have the pieces positioned, click on the parts that should be down and just arrange them. So like right click and click arrange, and then send parts that should be in the back to the back. So the hip piece, click arrange and send backward. Then just adjust the pieces as needed. But if you don't press Control and you just move it, the leg should still move all in one piece. And that's how you make Morty in Adobe Animate CC.